because they're like, fuck you, British. Hey guys, today I've got some leftover borscht. Before we get started, I'd like to ask you to subscribe and hit the bell if you want notifications, and give the video a thumbs up if you like it, and tell all your friends. So, borscht, it's like a beet soup or something like that. I'm not 100% sure, but I have a friend from Ukraine, and her mother is the best cook, and decided that I needed some borscht. So she gave me this container of leftover borscht. First time I tried it, it was at her place, and it opened up a whole new world for me, culinarily speaking. So let me try to get through this. It's well wrapped. I guess she didn't want it to leak, but also it smells very strong. I'm not sure what the smell is. I know it's made out of beets and it's got like onions and stuff in it. But I'm not. What did she do here? So she wrapped it and she put some more plastic on top of it, and just to make sure that it doesn't leak. But that's okay. So, in case you've never seen borscht, it's just this really red, pink stuff because of all the beets and vegetables and all that stuff. And some kind of beans and I guess carrots. There's probably some onions in there too. Anyway, I'll spoon some of this out. And you're supposed to eat borscht with sour cream or whatever the Ukrainians have instead of sour cream. But we've only got sour cream here, so I don't have any here, but thankfully Tanya was gracious enough to put some sour cream in here already. So man, I don't know if hers is like what borscht is supposed to taste like, but I love this stuff. It's soup, so I'm not going to be able to tilt it to you very much. Okay. Now, I'm sure she's going to get very mad if she ever sees this. However, I'm going to heat this up in the microwave because I don't feel like dirtying up a pot, which allows me to utilize this gadget that I found. It's it's not really a gadget. It's a microwave caddy. So what you do is you put it on here, put the plate on here in the middle, and so if it boils over, it doesn't get all in the microwave. It just goes in the little thing. And then it's got this cover that you can put on top of it to prevent the splattering. So I figure this is the perfect meal to figure out if this device is worth what I paid for it, which I don't, probably like $15 or something. But we'll see. I'll put this in the microwave for like, I don't know, a minute and a half or 2 minutes and see where we are there. And if it's not hot enough, I'll put it in a little bit more. So let me get cooking, and I'll be back in a minute. Hey guys, I'm back. I put it in for a minute and a half, and then it wasn't quite hot enough, so put it in for another minute. So 2.5 minutes total. I really like this thing, the holder. So it's got little vents around the sides so that it doesn't trap the steam, and it also doesn't, get everywhere. The Borscht didn't like pop too much, so it didn't prevent any splatter or anything. But also, I really like the handles here, because these bowls can get kind of hot sometimes. So I can just pick it up like that. So there was no spillage or anything. I really like this thing. So I'm excited for this borscht. And I don't even know if I'm pronouncing it right. Crap, I forgot my spoon. Hey, I'm back with my spoon. I left it on the counter over there. But I got not a bunch, but a few plastic spoons so that it doesn't clink against the plate as much as my metal spoons. So, anyway, I'm excited for this borscht. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right, because Russians have two letters for the same sound. They have a sh and then a sh, and one of those sh is the way to pronounce borscht, but I don't know. It always confounds me. Russian is a super weird language. Anyway. Oh, maybe it's a little too hot. It's so good. It's very much, even though there's it's like super red from the beets, I don't know that the beet is the overpowering flavor in it. It tastes like vegetable soup, I guess. So I don't know what all goes into it, but it's delicious, and my face is going to be stained red. Now when I go over there, it's usually I had bread, but I've only got a few Ritz left from the other day. So this will be my bread. But that's okay. It actually goes together really well with the Ritz and the borscht. So I've got another serving here that she really gave me quite a bit. I don't know that I'll eat that all tonight, but I'll save it for tomorrow or something. Before meeting these people, it had never occurred to me that you have a whole collection of cuisines over in Eastern Europe. I mean, you hear about it all the time, but I never really thought about it. But, man, I don't know if all Ukrainian women can cook like that, but I just love this food. It's not something I ever would have thought that I'd like, but it's really enjoyable for me. There's this other thing that she makes that I really like. It's pelmeni. Pelmenis are like Ukrainian raviolis, little things that are like of like dough or something. They're like little dumplings. They look like a ravioli, not a ravioli, a tortellini. And you just eat them with like vinegar and sour cream. And they're delicious. Sour cream is a very big part of the cuisine, I've found. And I looked it up. And the part that they use sour cream for here, it's actually some kind of like special sour cream that they only have over in like Ukraine and Russia. It's more like Greek yogurt or something. This is just what I've read. Because I really find the Ukrainian culture fascinating. It's a very do it yourself, not because you want to or because you're poor. It's just that's what you do kind of culture. It's very similar to my roots as a Cajun. Just how the whole culture revolves around family and eating. And they kind of got this attitude of, yeah, whatever, I'm going to do my own thing anyway because I don't care what you think. Like, the Cajuns ended up in Louisiana because the British came to Nova Scotia or Acadia, and they were like, you guys need to become Anglican or you can just get out. So what they do, they just got out because they're like, fuck you, British. We're not going to do what you say. We're going to do our own thing. So they left. Then they went to France, back home, and the French were like, we can't understand what the hell you're talking about because it's some kind of bastardized version of French. So you need to get out. And once again, they're like, okay, whatever. We don't need your crap. So then they decided to end up in Louisiana because it's like, oh, I don't care. I'm going to do my own thing. Of course, Ukrainians, they didn't have this whole, moving around kind of situation. Ukrainians just kind of stayed in Ukraine. And then Russian came, and they were like, okay, guess what? You're Russian now. And Ukrainians were like, okay, whatever, I don't care. We're still going to be Ukrainian. And then they turned Soviet, and the Soviets were like, okay, you need to stop being Ukrainian. You need to be good Soviet comrades. And they're like, okay, whatever you say, man. But then they kept being Ukrainian. They kept having their Ukrainian traditions, and they stayed, Ukrainian or Russian Orthodox, even though Soviets were like, no, you can't be Orthodox anymore. So they're like, okay, whatever, you can go screw yourself. You can tell yourself whatever you want, but we're still going to be Ukrainian over here. Of course, that didn't really sit well with communist Russia. So they starved them to death, which is really unfortunate, but man, I'm almost done. I'm a little disappointed. I should have cooked more, but I'm going to save it for tomorrow. But I think when I heat it up tomorrow, I'm just going to have it myself and not, eat with you guys because you've already seen me eat my borscht. Anyway, all I'm saying is that Ukrainian culture is very similar in some ways to Cajun culture. And they couldn't be farther apart. But still, some of the major things about them are there are a lot of likenesses. I tend to just like over research things when I start getting interested. So I met these people and I started reading up about Ukraine and like historical Ukraine. I honestly have no idea what's going on over there right now. I know there's a big war with Russia. And I know currently there's all kind of like political nonsense with Trump holding aid from Ukraine and all kinds of stuff, but all I know is what's in the news. But that's not the part that fascinates me. The part that fascinates me is just kind of the folklore and how they've, combined Christianity with the old Slavic traditions, kind of like us Cajuns did with Catholicism and voodoo or whatever it is that it was. I don't know, all the folklore and stuff. It's just amazing. Amazing, just like this borscht. And I'm going to have to save the rest of it for tomorrow night. And it'll be delicious then, too. Because I didn't heat up all of it. But I'll have to... The only problem with borscht is that the beets are super red. And everything is... like, everything it touches gets stained red, in my experience. Which is probably why they wrapped it up so tightly in saran wrap so that it didn't accidentally spill in their car or something. And put that back in the fridge later. In a little bit. And throw that in the sink and rinse it off. Anyway. Homemade borscht is delicious, and it's one of my favorite foods, I'll be honest with you. I mean, I like food, and I have a lot of favorite foods, but I think this is one of my top favorite of the favorites, I guess. And then, man, pelmeni, I love dumplings, pot stickers, steamed dumplings, tortellini, anything like that. Meat surrounded by dough, it's just the best. So, but man, if you had some pelmeni and some borscht together in one dinner, it'd be great. I can't imagine a more enjoyable thing, really. Well, that's not true. I can probably imagine lots of more enjoyable things, but as far as, Ukrainian cuisine goes, as far as I'm concerned, that's the way to go. Anyway, thanks for joining me for dinner, and I'll see you next time.